A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this particular session, I'm going to be talking about the DM and the DF. They are in separate locations, it seems, or they are living separate lives, it seems, but they are both missing each other. And as the seasons change from winter to summer, or from monsoon to winter, from monsoon to autumn, they are discussing or they're talking to themselves, and they're talking to just nature beings, or they're talking to the seasons itself. They are having this discussion that somehow you gotta share my message of love to my person, to my specific person. And this is a very, you can say, emotional channeling, but at the same time there's a lot of love, there's a lot of missing, there's a lot of happiness also, because these two people are very well sure that they will reunite very soon. They will reunite. There is no doubt in their minds. Maybe they have crossed that phase of hard separation where they thought that it can never be possible, but with time they have actually overcome that fear, and that they know now for sure in their hearts that they are supposed to be together, and they'll always love each other, and for their love they can do anything. They can do anything literally. So here I sense that the masculine, the male over here, is talking to nature itself, maybe talking to birds, and maybe talking to somebody who can, like the wind, somebody who can go from one place to another. I mean, some of you might think that what about the letters, what about the postman, or what about the telephone, or what about this, what about that? But in their case, there seems to have been some type of a separation where they themselves felt that it's better to stay in the place that they are in. It could be because separation due to movement, due to like moving to another country, or it could be possible that when they were going away from each other, there were too many misunderstandings between them, too many people between them, too many things between them, which they did not at that point in time, or could not also fight against. Their struggle was very painful because they were confused if it's my person who's wrong, or if it's these people who are wrong. They still did not know at that point in time. But it always happens during separation. Lots and lots of puzzles are solved, lots and lots of mysteries are solved, and it becomes very clear to them that my person was definitely right, and they feel that regret also. Both of them feel it. The feminine feels it, the masculine feels it. Because when they hang out with the same people and they end up doing whatever they want them to do, like literally they do whatever is been asked, because they're so heartbroken and shattered by that time. They're so much in like betrayal and pain that they go like, okay, I'll do anything now because these people seem to be right and my person is definitely not right, or my person was not right, there's something wrong with my person. So I guess it makes a lot of sense if I just give in to whatever is happening around me. But when they give in and when they do whatever they can to make others happy, they realize that these people were just playing with their feelings. It's all about their ego. It's all about ego massage. It's all about their image. It's like literally they don't care about their feelings. They don't really see them as like, okay, these are my people. I'm talking about DM and DF. They are not being seen like their own people by those that these people were pleasing, and they gave up their love for these people, thinking that they are my own people, so they must be right. Because see, wisdom is not something, and spiritual maturity is not something that comes immediately to people. So we also need to cut a slack for anyone who has hurt us. Sometimes we ourselves become the biggest enemy of our love. We should not do that. Literally, we should not do that. So the masculine is saying, the seasons have changed and the swings are back in the garden. The children are out playing in the garden, playing on the swings. Because in the winters, they say that the swings, children don't prefer to be on the swings because it's cold and it's not that enjoyable. But in the summers or in the monsoon or any other season. So he says, talks about the fruits of that season, and he realizes that life is actually very short and temporary, and everybody is going to die one day, and everybody's token has already been distributed, and still I feel these nights are very long without you, without your company. So please come back to me, come back home. When he says come back home, he means come back to where we were at one point in time, because we have the same life and everything about you and me is the truth, because our love is true, our love is real, and whatever mistakes we made in judgment, in judging people, in judging your love, my love, your emotions, my emotions, everything, everything makes sense, and he is able to solve the puzzle. And he says finally, no one can stop us from being together. No matter how many difficulties are presented on our path, no matter how many difficulties are thrown at us, eventually our love will win. It will win. In this world and the other world, our love will win. So he says that I keep looking at the roads. My eyes are always on the roads. This is very symbolic. It doesn't mean he literally sits outside his house looking at the roads. No, what he's trying to say is that I'm looking for you, your comeback, because you're going to walk back from the same roads. And not only I love you, but you're also my friend, my bestest friend, my closest friend, and I feel very strongly that this is like a time, or you can say a time in a day, like everything shifts in one day, in one split second everything shifts, and this person realizes that we are into union. The masculine especially is saying this, and feminine is definitely mirroring every damn thing that he feels. And he says that my friend, my best friend was taken away from me, but tonight is the night of our union, and never talk about separation. It's literally like he's having a telepathic conversation and she is also having a telepathic conversation while they are in separate locations. It's literally like they've both decided in the same moment that we are not going to talk about separation ever. We will not be separate. We will not be away from each other. But we will remain quiet. We are not going to express it to others now, because they've realized that the more they talk to other people around them, or the more they discussed it with others, they were constantly being pushed around or mocked at, or they were wronged constantly. They were told that your decision is not correct, you're stupid, this is not for us, this is not for you. So they both telepathically communicate with each other, and they decide that we will not share our secret, our special secret with anyone. We will work on coming together for sure. We will only talk about love. We will only listen to each other. We will stay quiet in front of others. We will act like, yeah, everything is fine, we are happy. And eventually, we will find a way to come back to each other. Now, this is a very beautiful channeling. It's a very, very fulfilling sort of a channeling, I feel, because whenever we get separated from someone we dearly love, there is a moment where we actually believe that separation is real. We actually believe whatever the world has to say to us. We actually believe that other person is gone. Now there is no way that we can connect again or reunite again. We miss the physical, tangible experience of them being around us. But it's during the separation that we have to learn that when we love someone, they are always with us, even through life and death. You can get my book In the Name of Love. It has this very beautiful love story, which was actually sent across to me by the person who had crossed over. I'm going to just give you a little bit because it matches a lot with this channeling, in the sense the emotion of love. However, this channeling is for people who are in the same situation that I told you, like they took decisions based on what other people told them to make them happy, thinking that those people also love them. And because of the way they have behaved, it seemed to them that they hurt the people they love. But when they are in separation, or when they are taking all the karmic decisions that were forced on them in an emotional, manipulative way, sort of an emotional blackmail, you can say, they realize that these people only love themselves. It's okay to love yourself, but these people only love their identities, the ego. That's it. Nothing more. So there's this person, Yudhvir. I named the character Yudhvir and the girl Suzanne. And I still remember I was working in a company back then, and there were lots of people around, and they chose somebody who had a similar story to connect with me, to communicate with me, because this is how entities and benevolent agents especially, they communicate with us. So I was working in a company, and this girl used to work in my office, and I used to like on and off have a conversation with her. I'd seen her for a good period of time. We were not very close, but we were like kind of close also, because I did hang out with her. And even I don't hang out with people so much, but back then I was living a very strong three-dimensional life, going to work, driving every day. So obviously there was no thought of mystical experiences or divine interventions or spirits, souls coming to you and talking to you. I would not think that. And especially by the time I did have some crazy experiences and encounters. I mean, I was not ready to accept that I'm a psychic or I have any such gift, because it didn't fit in with my lifestyle back then. I mean, that's also a part of us experiencing separation, when we don't want to accept our gifts. I don't even know if I should call it gifts, because I think a lot of us possess it, but we don't know about it, or we like to deny it because it's a scary thing. Oh, a spirit is coming and talking to you and blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean, just like anybody else, like literally. So one fine day, I was sleeping, so it did feel like a dream at that time, but the next morning was where the shocking thing came in. So I was in my sleep, and suddenly I was transported to this girl's room, and I'd never seen her house till that time. It was only when later on I went to her house, I was shocked to see that it was exactly the same room. The placement of the furniture, especially because there was a low bed, an almirah in the room, and there was a window, like a big window on the wall. And this guy was standing next to the window, and I was in the room. The girl was sitting and crying on the low bed, and the guy could see me. I mean, we could see each other, but the girl could not see either of us. So literally, I was also sort of in a spiritual way over there, like astral projection, you can say. But I don't think I was aware that I was astrally projecting myself over there, because this was not intentional. It was absolutely unintentional. I did not know at that time in future I would be a Twinflame coach, or I would be working and teaching people metaphysics, helping them connect with themselves, releasing their blocks, releasing the entities that create the blocks, helping them heal the ancestral curses. I mean, this type of language I don't think I used to speak back then. Doing readings, reading people's energies. I mean, at that point in time, I just used to see people as people. I did not really see that, or I didn't want to see actually. I just wanted to be a normal person. Obviously, I had denied a lot of stuff by that time. I'm sure a lot of you also have done that. But at the end of the day, when it actually hits you, you can't help it. Just like the twin flame situation, the ascension journey, you would not believe that it's true, but when it eventually starts like hitting you on your face, it's literally on your face, like the wind, like the air, you can't help it. It's like snowflakes falling on your face. Suddenly it becomes very physical and tangible. A lot of things that were not physical and tangible for you. So this man was standing next to the window. I still remember he had curly hair and he had curled up eyelashes. Now it's very difficult to say exactly how his physical features were, but yeah, he was thin, tall, very lean, and he was like fair as well. So, but it was slightly dark in the room. It was not a well lit room. So this girl who was crying on the bed, I was looking at her and I was like not knowing what to do because she could not see me, and I knew that. And this person was like, do you see this? I was like, yeah, I see it. So we were both talking in front of her while she was crying, but she could not see us. She could not listen to our voices. And he said, you know what? It really makes me sad when she cries like this. And she cries like this, like a lot. I don't know, like, can you do me a favor? Can you help me out with this? So I said, yeah, sure. What do you want me to do? And this man, he said, can you go to her tomorrow and can you tell her tomorrow morning that she should not do this, she should not cry like this because it really hurts me and it makes me feel very bad. I said, okay, sure, why not? I'll let her know. Is there anything else? And he's like, no, I think that's pretty much it. Next morning I went to work and obviously the first thing I wanted to do was tell this girl about the weird dream. But I did not know if she's going to believe me. I did not know, like, is this really normal to just walk up to someone and tell her that I saw someone in your room last night and you were crying on the bed. And, it was really like, I was a bit skeptical, but still any which way, I've always been very honest and straightforward. And I was also very curious. Let's put it that way. I was quite curious. So I saw her and I looked at her face. And her eyes were very red and the eyelids were kind of swollen. I did not really know that she had cried or not, but it looked like, when I looked at her eyes that, yeah, she did cry a lot last night. So I said to her that, hey, I got to tell you something. I saw a really weird dream last night. I was in your room and there was another man in your room and we were both talking to each other while you were sitting there and crying, and you were crying a lot and you could not hear us at all, you could not see us at all, but we both could see you. And he asked me to tell you to not cry anymore. And it hurts him a lot, it hurts his soul a lot. So please don't do it, is what the message is from that man, from that guy. He looked like a boyish guy, not really like a man. Like he looked young. So this girl, first she just kept staring at my face. And then she was like, oh my God. Okay, hold on. She opened up her bag, she took out a wallet, then she took out a picture and she showed me the picture and she said, did he look like this? I said, oh yeah, he was so much like this. Yeah, same thing. Curly hair, curled up eyelashes, fair, good looking guy. I was like, yeah, he was this guy. Wow, who is he? And she looked at me. She was literally, I think, shocked, bamboozled. I don't know, like I could see it in her face. She was like extremely shocked. She did not know what to do, what to say. But she said that he was my boyfriend and he died in a car accident. And last night was his birthday. And I was crying in my room, missing him. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I was like, so I think you should not cry then. He's literally sending you a direct message. Now this happened long time before I actually wrote the story. I started writing the book In the Name of Love in 2009 and 10. Pretty much finished it in 10 and then I republished it in 11. And then I re-edited in 2018. So it's been a long journey for me also. And I published the book and the story was all out there for people to read. Many people they read the story, they loved it, but they did not know the background of the story. And then after that, when I started writing this story years later literally, because this happened many years back, when I started writing it down, everything just started downloading. Everything just started, like, it was also a form of channeling. But when we do that type of work, I don't think we can be disturbed or we can be stopped. That's the thing. So a huge sort of gush used to enter me, and I just had to like type, and I finished the book in just 3.5, 4 months. Actually, it was a thick book at that time. It has like 500-600 pages. I was in a job, so you can imagine, I was working. I was driving to work every day, which is like 3 hours total, and staying in the office, still having all the energy to come back home and write the book, going for parties. I still remember I fell sick in between. I had dengue for a month, so I had to take a leave from office, and this is the time when my book had to be completed, this book In the Name of Love, which has all these type of stories. And I did not know that these are all twin flame situations. Completely, fully, I did not know at that time. But I was so consumed by the urge, or I don't know, it was so natural to just finish it. I ended up writing 500-600 pages, and then after editing, I was left with 270 something pages eventually. But every single story came in with a mystical experience, which was always bizarre. Like, this was obviously bizarre. Then I had an experience of physically meeting someone who told me that he's a twin flame, and he just vanished into thin air after some time. And I was like, thank God my friends saw him, because my friends did see him, and one of my friend even remembers it till date. Like, yeah, I saw you talking to this old guy. And everybody actually literally then sat around him, and then they saw the climax scene. They all saw it, but I don't know where that man is, which is crazy. And he even told me that you're going to write a book about this. You're going to write a book about this subject, and you're going to be a writer. And I was like, dude, what? I'm a marketeer. I market movies. I work for the films. So it was crazy how these mystical experiences happen, and they are a big proof of so many things that we may not want to believe in. And in this session, I feel that these two people, although they're separated by others, but they have gone through the pang of separation a lot, and they both have true love for each other, and they also had to somehow, collect the strength, the power, the understanding, and the wisdom to fight against all of those people and go back to each other. And while they're having this very deep telepathic communication with each other, they can literally feel each other around them. It's a deep mystical experience, actually. And I also found out that in Ramayana, in Uttar Ramayana also, there was one time when Sita ji wanted to see Ram in person, and she wanted to see what he's doing, what lifestyle he has, does he miss her, does he think about her or not. And she was in a lot of pain, so Guru Valmiki actually gave her the power to astrally project herself and go and meet Lord Sri Ram. Now, as a metaphysics coach, I do teach people astral projection, lucid dreaming, and a lot of other things. But I think if you're really interested in metaphysics, deep metaphysics, then you gotta study it well. You gotta really practice. And these experiences, how do I say it? They happen for sure, but they happen to people who are very pure, innocent, and their love is so beautiful, so pure, along with the pain they feel, that gods and goddesses and masters also want to uplift them and take them to a different experience altogether. Guys, if you feel like reading the book In the Name of Love, which has a lot of mystical connotations, and it comes with certain amount of downloads once you start connecting with the stories and the characters in it, I would recommend you to buy only the Amazon Kindle copy, because I edited again in 2018. I re-edited this book in 2018 because I felt There were certain minute changes, but very important changes that had to be made. If you get the paperback copy, you will not get the latest edited version. So that's my suggestion and my advice to you. So Lord Sri Ram's wife, who was living in the forest anonymously, was sent via astral projection to him, and when she reached the palace to his room, she saw that he was holding her idol, and literally like a baby, like a child, lying on the floor, like keeping his head on her lap and the idol's lap, and crying, missing her, saying that I love you so much, you're the only woman for me, you're the only person for me, I cannot live without you, it's so hard to be without you. She saw all of that, she was so moved, and she was like, wow, he loves me so much. And here I was thinking that he doesn't even think about me, and he's literally for real. And while she was present, she just put one small bindi on the forehead of the idol, and she used to put this bindi even while they were together in her own style. And Lord Sri Ram saw it, and he was like, oh my God, you're in this room, you're here, aren't you here? I can smell you, I can sense you, I know you are here, you're physically here right now, where are you? Don't play these games with me. She just wanted him to know that yes, she's present, she's there, and he should see it as a token of, like her existence. So I will recommend you, if you guys are interested in astral projection, lucid dreaming, first and foremost, you need to study it properly, and you need to be in very protected energies, because you don't want to be taken over by something strange and weird, be careful. Study it first, and you need a master's direction, guidance to actually uplift yourself into these type of energies and be able to telepathically communicate with the one who matters to you. And also release the fear of separation, also release the illusion of separation from your life. So after, I think, this experience, both Sri Ram and Sita realized that they cannot be separated. Some mystical intervention, some divine intervention will always give them signs, always make them feel each other's presence and love. So here also, this masculine is telling the feminine that come back, oh traveler, because you've become a traveler now, you've become like a foreigner living elsewhere. So please come back, my traveler, please, because our life is one, and you got to make that effort now, because you know that our love is true. And I will sacrifice my life, to make things all right. I can do that as well. I mean, there's no need to do that, because then the whole point is gone. But he has that much conviction that I can do anything to bring you back. But I'm still gonna believe in our love, that our love is so powerful, because love is the most powerful energy on this planet. If you just have to believe in it, and when you believe in it, it will make things happen. So he's telling her that this love will make things happen. Believe in it. So this is where I'll close this channeling session. For your personal situations, you can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. Kindly do not share your twin flame journey in advance with me, because I use spiritual modalities, intuitive and psychic abilities, which is obviously given to me by my masters. None of this is mine actually. The whole credit goes to them. My masters and my grandmaster, they are the most wonderful, loving people. I have 3 masters, to be honest. One who initiated me, and one who was his master, and grandmaster who's everybody's master. It is the magic of Sri Ram Naam. It is the chanting of Ram Naam sound that gives all of us the abilities to become a better individual, be more independent, and to be able to practice and perceive unconditional love in a more tangible and more real form. So yes, for therapies also, if you want to remove the blocks, chronic blocks that are stuck in your system for years now, you want to keep them in you, you just want to let them go, say goodbye, move on, have a better life. And again, as I said, experience your own authentic individual expression of life and love that you are on this planet. So for all of that, you have to check out the description box. It's very simple. and you have to book either a therapy or a session, a personal session, a single session, a hand-holding session, as I said. And please write to me after that. Let me know, because a couple of times it has happened that I don't get the direct intimation from PayPal. I just get to know that, okay, this person has booked the session, but there's no email that I can write to. So please once write to me that yes, I have booked the session, and I'll get back to you immediately after that. Everything else is great, guys. Just know that ascension is a lifestyle and inner work is a lifestyle. It never leaves us, actually, and after a point we don't want to let it go. We want to do inner work every day. We become like that because we see so many benefits. We can redeem ourselves, we can be a free person, we can live a lighter life, we can connect more with our soul mission, soul purpose. We can practice mind body soul connection. All of that is possible. So I'll see you soon in another one. One love and peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.